Gary, what's your thoughts on that one?
I think it was compared to last week's performance, it was a disappointing performance from us. The first half, I thought we were better in the second half, but the first half, when you're trying to get a bit of momentum and get the crowd on your side, really, we kicked a lot of balls long. We were in good positions in wide areas and played the wrong pass. Then when we made the right pass in wide areas to create overloads, to get crosses in, we were crossing it out the pitch. So I said to the lads at half time, really, the only real positive we could take was that it was 0-0. And that Dunfermline hadn't created too many chances. Had a couple of set plays, I think. Then I thought we were done well in the start of the second half for the 15 minutes. We had a couple of chances. Then we had the clash of heads. It sort of knocked us a wee bit, trying to get people regrouped in that. Eventually had to take John off. Moving people about while still trying to put attackers on to try and win the game. But I think overall, we didn't deserve any more than a point.
Do you think that Alan Johnson coming a point away from home will be the happier of
no,
the two?
Because I don't think a point suits any of the two teams. I think, if I'm being honest, I thought Dunfermline were as bad as us. I thought both teams laid a lot of mistakes. Albeit, Jack's made a great save at the end. I think it took a deflection off the free kick. But at the start of the season, a point against Morton, a point against Dunfermline wouldn't be bad results. But when you're pushing for the playoffs, a point isn't enough. And we're aware of that. 2 points in the last two games. We needed more, really. So we now need to just try and put it right up at Tannadice on Tuesday.
Was it a case that it was maybe just nerves between the two sides today?
I think looking at it now, it looked like maybe subconsciously both sets of players thought if we lose this, it's going to be very difficult to get into the playoffs. We certainly never set up to try and to lose the game, albeit I think we're hitting so many long balls and so many wrong choices of passes, it would be easy for the fans to think that. And I got a wee bit frustrated with a couple of them at half time because listen, the pay, you can say what you want, we didn't play well, so I can take the criticism, but when you've got young lads like Conor Murray in his first full season, he isn't deliberately meaning to kick the ball out the park. He isn't deliberately meaning to give it away. So sometimes a wee bit of encouragement would be nice to help him. He's not got the experience of having 2 or 3 seasons of football behind him. He's a young boy trying to make his way, and I just think it would have been nice for the fans to get behind him rather than booing him.
Is this where it comes in that you've talked previously about maybe the young players are playing too much and people think that he's more experienced than he actually is?
Yeah, because he's played maybe 25 games this season or something, Conor, I don't know, starts and appearances off the bench, 25, but he's a young boy, he's 21. It's his first year he was playing with, I think it was on loan at Gretna when I came in, so he's made huge strides. And that's what we need to remember about the young lads. They're all just setting out in their ways and they've got to have games like that. Oh, listen, the other lads, yeah, fine, no problem, boo me, boo the lads for kicking it long, but you've got to watch who you're giving your criticism to, because if you keep criticising young players, a lot of them get lost and they haven't got an inner strength to find their way back. So that disappointed me a wee bit. I don't like that, and when I don't think it's right, I'll stick up for the players.
In terms of the game today as well, it is a point, and we said last week that if teams weren't gaining, I know that you
that's another positive. It's a negative, Sandra, because we've not won the game. I don't want anybody to think, he's happy with a point. I'm not 2 points out of the 6 for the home games isn't really enough. But again, as you said, we didn't let them win neither when we weren't at our best. And it just reiterates back to last week that when you're on top in the games like Morton, you have to get the 3 points, because you will have days like this where you're not at your best and you're having to fight and scrap. And then see if we had got 3 last week, we'd all came out here today and says, listen, you weren't at your best but you picked up a point. But the failure to get last week means that today's performance is reflected more, and we know that 2 points out of 6 has left us a lot of work to do if we want to try and get into the playoffs.
It's obviously costly as well in terms of injuries.
Yeah, listen, you've seen yourselves, Sean's over on his ankle, Kai's got a cut eye, maybe needs stitches, John's had to come off with his cut, Darren Brownlee's played on for 60 or 70 minutes with a dead leg. I'm conscious as well to ask Kai and Marsh to play 3 games in 10 days after being 6 or 7 weeks out is a big ask. I may not have a choice. Joe Thompson I'll be available barring any setbacks in training, so we get 1 back. But in terms of working on something on Sunday or Monday, it's virtually impossible, because I'm going to need to give all these players until the last minute to see if they're fit.
When you get so many injuries in the one game as well, it kind of doesn't leave you any
Listen,
opportunity.
it's very difficult. You're putting people on the rush. You've got people Dunfermline are a big team. They were a threat at set plays. I think that was probably their biggest threat today. You know, Mavota won this one in the first half. They got a free kick there that Jack makes a save. And people have got specific jobs, and then you're quickly having to put subs on. You're maybe having to move somebody from one person to another person because that person's more of a threat, and you need your bigger person to go on to him. And then the players going on are having to try and pick up. And when you go and coat, it's difficult. So credit to the players for that, for not conceding. But it isn't easy, you know. Just London, for example, you know. Again, I can hear people giving London a bit of stick. London partners went into labour. She's still in the labour ward now. He wanted to play. And he's played in 4 positions for me. He's played behind the striker, centre forward, left midfield and centre midfield. And people didn't realise that, and he's getting a bit of stick and stuff, and it's just things like that that it annoys me a wee bit, if I'm being honest.
That's the thing, you can sense that you're angry about that.
Yeah, because I have no... Boo me. Just boo me. Just leave the players alone and boo me. I'm alright with that. Just keep booing me. But leave the players and support the players, because the day we needed a lift because we weren't at our standards of last week.
Big game on Tuesday night. Does it now become even bigger?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's every time we didn't pick up a win now with the games running out, it's going to make the job even harder. I'm not going to tell you that it's impossible to get into the playoffs, because if we win against Dundee United, I think we're 2 points behind them, albeit they've got their games in hand, but you've got to win your games in hand, and they're against teams that have got stuff to play for. So, but if you get beat, you're a good few points out of the playoffs. And I've said to the players at the start of the game, and they're aware, and I said to them after the game, it's the same message with a game less. We need to go on a run somewhere where we're winning 2 or 3 games in a row. A win, a draw, a defeat, 2 draws, a win, a defeat. It's not got to be enough. We need to start putting wins together. We're the same, Dunfermline are the same, Inverness are the same, and Falkirk are the same. Because if we didn't do it, we're not going to catch the teams above us. You know, it's pretty simple really. The lads, I've given them everything today in terms of effort. The quality wasn't good enough. I'm aware of that. The players are aware of that. But we need to start digging wins out of somewhere.
United themselves are in a wee sticky patch as well.
Yeah, but they'll have a point, you know, they'll want to get that turned around. It's a difficult game, you know. Anytime you go up to Dundee United thinking it's going to be an easier game than any other time to go up, you're wrong. They know they need to sort of get 3 points to get out of their spell, to get back in amongst the teams above them. If you want to get their next target's to get back above Morton, so they'll want to win. Our target's to get closer to the team above us, so we want to win. So it'll be a difficult game. And we'll just have to see what Tuesday brings, you know. But it's a game, it's good games against Dundee United, normally a lot of goals, and hopefully, you know, we can put in a good performance, and we know that we've got to improve on today's performance if we're going to get 3 points.